What's up everybody, Mike here. I made some mini bundt cakes filled with apricot and pecan, and I'm going to show you how. These are the ingredients for the mini bundt cake of this recipe. For the dry ingredients, we have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour with 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. For the wet ingredients, we have 1 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup or 1 stick of softened unsalted butter, 3 eggs plus 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3/4 of a cup of milk. Then, after I make the batter, I'm going to be stirring in 1 cup of finely chopped pecans and 8 ounces of dried apricots that have also been chopped. I'm going to make the batter and you're going to see it next. So the first thing that I am doing is I'm going to be creaming together my sugar and my butter. So one thing that I'm looking for whenever I'm trying to figure out if my butter and sugar has been thoroughly creamed together is if the butter-sugar mixture is starting to stick to the sides of the bowl. If it's not sticking to the sides of the bowl, then there's not enough air in the mixture and it's too heavy. Once you get enough air, then it's going to start to actually stick and cling to the bowl, and that's how you know that you are ready to start incorporating your eggs. So, 1 egg at a time, I want to get this incorporated into my butter and sugar mixture. Once it looks like it's incorporated, I want to scrape down the sides of the bowl and into the bottom just to make sure that everything is thoroughly combined before moving on to any of the next ingredients. Once all of your eggs are incorporated, you are going to mix in your dry ingredients in 2 stages. After your first stage of dry ingredients is incorporated, you are going to add in about 1/2 of your milk and all of your chopped pecans, and then you're going to add in the last 1/2 of your dry ingredients and get this combined. To prevent it from over mixing, I just want to get it roughly mixed together like this before adding in the last bit of my milk and then combining this just until it is smooth. My dough is almost complete. I have the base of it done with all of the chopped pecans. So now I just want to fold in my dried apricots. And the reason I'm not doing this in the stand mixer is to make sure that I'm not overworking the actual batter here and developing any gluten with my flour. So just get this all hand combined, and then once you have everything well mixed, you are going to portion this into a greased baking pan, and I am going to be using a mini bundt baking pan, but you can bake this for or in whatever shape that you would like. If you want to do this as one singular cake, I would bake it at a 350 degree temperature for about 45 to 55 minutes in a 9-inch cake pan. But I am going to be using this mini bundt pan right here, so I will let you know what my time is, but I'm also going to be cooking this at 350 degrees, and you're going to see what it looks like when it comes out of the oven in a minute. I have just pulled my mini bundt cakes from the oven. You can see that around the edges they are getting nice and golden brown, and that is what you are looking for. So I'm going to let these cool in the pan for about 5 minutes before I flip them out onto this wire cooling rack that is right here, and then I'm going to let them cool completely before topping them off. And you're going to see the topping next. The ingredient for my pecan topping is laid out right in front of me. We are starting with 1/3 cup of local honey, 1 stick or 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. We have 1/2 cup of brown sugar with 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of regular salt. And then I have some very coarsely chopped pieces of pecans. You can see that there are some big pieces in there and some little pieces. That is what I am wanting. So I'm gonna make my pecan cinnamon glaze and you're gonna see it. The procedure to make my pecan topping for my apricot pecan cakes is very, very simple. I'm gonna start by taking my honey, brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt, and I want to get this dissolved and simmering. All right, so I am just starting to see some bubbling happening in this liquid, so I am actually going to turn off the heat now, and I'm going to use this opportunity to stir in the last bit of my ingredients, which is going to be the softened unsalted butter. And then once this is fully incorporated in, that's what I'm going to mix in my roughly chopped pecans. Once you can no longer see any butter in this caramel sauce mixture, you are going to stir in your roughly chopped pecans. All right, your topping for your cakes are done. All that you want to do now is drizzle this over the top. Drizzle as much or as little of it as you want on your cakes, and then you get to serve. And I'm going to show you the final shots in a minute. And that's how you make my mini bundt cakes. I really hope you make them and let me know your thoughts, but for right now, just look at my face.